Hello everyone. So today I'm just mooching around in the garden on this sunny Easter Sunday morning. So I thought I'd just throw together a little video. I can show you what's in my cold frames while I'm moving things around. So this is one of my new ones that I built the other day. I added 2 more to my collection because I was starting to run out of space. So this one's pretty much just got Saracenium in it, so it's got loads of seedlings that are growing. Majority of these ones across the bottom are Saracenia, Flava, Maxima, Adrian Slacks, grown from seed a couple of years ago. Some different ones in there, so these are just some pullings that I got off a Saracenia that I got from work, just a hybrid of some sort from Carnivorous. Starting to send up some nice shoots there, starting to wake up. You can see all the little ones coming up. Some of these from last year, these will be cut back when the new ones start taking over. In the back there, I mentioned in one of my other videos that I had some decent success growing Darlingtonia californica from seed. This is where they've always sort of been, so they've never really got major sunlight. But they seem to have always done well growing like this. I need to cut some of the moss back. I don't want the moss to start smothering the young plants as they come up. Some new shoots coming up there. Sorry, I'm trying not to get in the way of the shadow. Some new shoots coming up there this year. Another one there. Looking really nice. That's how I start growing them in little pots like that and just sort of move them on as they get a little bit bigger. So yeah, that's how I've always sort of had decent success growing them. So they're in the shadier part at the back of the cold frame, so they don't get too hot. And they've always grown quite well there. But that's why I have started my water garden, to see how they grow in full sun. With a constant water supply running over them, this is doing really well so far. Put a little Drosera bonita in there just before. I'll slowly start adding to this, putting different things in there, create a nice little garden. This one's this is one of my other ones. This one's mainly got Dionia, Venus Flytraps in it. I'm just putting some more in now, just moving things over. So some nice cultivars in here. So some Drosera Capianis growing outside, full sun. Starting to get some nice red tentacles. Trying to get a decent view of them. Can see them glistening. Not doing too bad, waking up. Some young Venus Flytraps there, Cultivar Werewolf. Some nice ones growing on. That's just a Saracenia rhizome. Not much coming. A lot of these are just sort of standard form Venus Flytraps growing. There's a little cluster of young ones there. When they're young like that and they start to cluster up, as you can see, that's when I'll start to take some divisions off them. I'll separate them off so they can grow into bigger sort of individual plants, instead of all growing tightly clustered up there. Little flower stem there. Cut that off later, I think. I don't want it to flower. Prefer the traps than the flowers on these guys. Red Dragon, Akirayu, if that's how you pronounce that. Japanese cultivar Red Dragon. Grew amazing last year. Nice big, long, tall traps. Beautiful red coloration with the green line going through them. Very nice. Alien. Some alien pullings there from a bigger mature plant last year. Green Wizard there waking up. Another alien. I'm sure I've got a bigger one here somewhere. Yeah, there's a slightly more mature one there, alien. It's a favourite of mine, I do like the alien. Interesting little fact, at the moment the alien does hold the Guinness Book of World Records for the largest traps. Useless little bit of information for you there, but it's an interesting one to know. Phalanx. Another favourite of mine, gets nice long sort of eyelash looking teeth on it. Beautiful little plant, cross teeth there. Another one I hope to get some nice divisions off when it starts to grow up. Some Tricular I Spy. Growing on, they just grew from, I'm sorry if I pronounced this one wrong again, I've never actually heard anyone say it. I think it's pronounced Gemia or Gemia, where they grew from little plantlets off an adult plant that I've got growing in my bog pot there. That was the adult plant there, so they just grew off a couple of the leaves that died away last season. So I've got some nice ones coming off it. Some more standard forms down here. The majority of what you're looking at they've all been recently repotted. That's why they're looking quite fresh, and some of them are looking a bit straggy. So these have been recently divided into individual plants off bigger plants, so they will start to wake up and start to come into their own as the summer goes on. Some more over here. Some of these are seed grown plants that have been in there a couple of years. Should start getting some nice growth of them this year. Should start putting out some adult traps. Nice one there, DCXL. Very big plant. Let's move some of these labels around so they don't get too shaded in the sun. What's that one? Bohemian Garnet. Beautiful red trap. Another pull-in that I got, same as that one. Come off a much more mature plant. Vitiligo. Nice plant there when it comes into its own. Some more unusual ones down there. There's some seeds in there germinating from last year, and a pull-in that I pulled off. Just thought I'd chuck that in there if I get something from it. Bonus. Cephalotus Follicularis. Yeah, I got the pronunciation right on that one. Going really well outside. Been out for a couple of weeks. Some lovely traps on them. No signs of stress. Getting some nice colour. That's a coal mine with Big Boy. So I should get some nice big beautiful traps off that. Tricular Reniformis. Lovely bladder shaped leaves coming up on that. Very big bladderwort. Very nice. Some new trap, you can't really see there, but there is some new leaves emerging. This has been outside for a couple of weeks now that the spring, summer's coming in. Another one there. You can kind of see there a little red leaf coming up. That's new growth while it's been outside, so I'm very happy with that. Move around a bit. So yeah, you've seen this one. My water garden for the Darlingtonia californica. I actually noticed, I'll do in the next update video, but I've actually noticed while I was moving around this morning some new growth coming on, so I was extremely happy about that. Actually starting to throw up some new pictures. Not noticed any movement on this one yet, but I did put the gravel a little bit high around it. It should start breaking through in the coming few weeks. But that one's starting to put, as I was looking around, I found like 2 or 3 nice lovely pictures starting to emerge. So yeah, really happy with that. So that's been since it's been in this pot with the water rushing over it. So yeah, I'm very happy with that, very happy. Another one over here, so again some more Venus flytraps, some from pulling, as you can see there, looking rough, but good healthy root system on some of them, so I potted them up, should get some new traps coming out on them. A lot in here, great white shark, some sawtooth, had them growing for some time, Bohemian Garnet, some nice red ones, red Piranha in that, come up from a seed, but there's a little hitchhiker in there, see if I can get close enough. Looking at, it looks like Drosera scorpodes. I have had them, I do grow them upstairs quite a lot actually. I've grown quite a lot of them, but I don't know where that one's come from, whether it's come up from a rogue Gemini or Gemini that's got in there somehow, I don't know, but this is growing outside, and this is, I'll remind you, I'm in Blackpool, so very cold, very wet. I wouldn't have thought that I'd have done so well outside, but it is in a cold frame, gets full sun. So we'll see what happens to that. These are all in here. These are all cuttings from pull-ins and divisions from Venus flytrap B52. So a real big Venus flytrap that. Some over here, more Bohemian Garnet, Sawtooth. Some lovely plants there, all standing in an inch of RO water, reverse osmosis water. Nothing in the bottom of that one. I'm in the process of moving things around. My other little bog garden here. Follicularis there, Grandiflora, doing really well. Native butterwort. Flytraps, Florida giant, getting nice and gooey. Lovely plant. Flower buds reaching up. Darlingtonia californica over there, I noticed again. Starting to get some new growth on that. Still hoping to see some runners coming off this one. Nothing as yet, but I will be eagerly watching. Still no movement on the big rhizome over here, the Saracenium aureae max rawlings. I'm still expecting this to do well. It's a very mature plant. I think it might just take a little bit longer to wake up in the environment here. Big filer there, I haven't cut that off yet. Little flower bud still coming up there. I won't spend too much time over here. Venus flytrap there, DCXL, some new traps coming out. Rotundifolia there. Angelica. Little I Spy coming out there. Another one from the mother plant. Intermedia. Oh, growing really well. I fitted a pipe on my water butt a couple of days ago. It's leaking a little bit, so I'm going to drain it down and seal it with silicone to keep that tight. But this allows me really good sort of watering of my bog gardens and topping up my water pot if I need to. Saves me just using a watering can all the time. So I'm always trying new things, make it easier for myself. Filled that up nice and full. A little more Venus flytraps, some other different ones in here. So I've got Triton there, nice plant. Bohemian Garnets there again. I've got some scarlet bristles. Beautiful, nice red coloration comes up on them. Pink Venus, that one didn't do very well last year. I don't know what happened to it, but coming into the autumn, winter, started to get a lot of sort of, I think it must have been botrytis across the leaves. Sort of tried to cut it away before it actually got to the corm, the actual centre of the plant. Some people like to call it the rhizome or the bulb. It's called a corm. But as I cut it away, it stopped growing, but it didn't die either. I mean, they've not moved at all. It's the exact same as it was November last year, so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, it might come back this year, because it is the only one pink Venus that I've got. I would like it to come back. I don't like it coming back. And as I mentioned before with the red Piranha in the other gold frame, same that's going on with these. You can see the Scorpodes, Dracaria Scorpodes coming up there. It must have been when these plants or this peat was upstairs, in my room upstairs. Yeah, they're growing outside. Nice. I'm just going to leave them, see what happens. Another werewolf there. Weird funky traps. Unusual one to see. When you look at this one a bit closer, it actually doesn't have the trigger hairs on the inside of the leaf. So in my experience, this plant's always been quite a slow growing plant, possibly because it doesn't catch anything. I've tried to aid it in the past, tried to aid closing it, and it does sort of shut up, but then with it having no trigger hairs, it doesn't close any further and it doesn't completely seal and it doesn't digest. Triton, that one does catch things, but you'll probably know this with the Triton because of the way that it's shaped at the top of its pitches. It doesn't it's never open, it's kind of connected, it never seals properly. so it always sort of leaks digestive fluid onto itself, and it ends up actually killing the leaf. It's another slow grower outside. It grows purely just off sunlight. It doesn't really catch things very well. Some more down here. Vitiligo. Nice plant. They're all red Piranha pullings that I took off my big one that I had growing on my patio set. I split it into about 15 individual little plantlets. Trev's red dente. Nice little plant over there. Scarlet bristle growing. Yeah. This is a plant that I've had growing on my patio set for years and years and years and years. I finally, a week or two ago, I should have recorded it and put it on YouTube, but I didn't. I do apologise. If it happens in the future again, I will. But it had 3 plants in there. And when I eventually actually took it apart, took all the soil out, took the plants apart, I think I divided it into about 43 individual little plants. Just the corm was just growing, getting bigger and bigger and bigger and more mature. I got loads of seed off it that I grew my own plants from. This stays here all year. Excuse me. Got some invigorator there and some. Yeah, that stays there all year. So summer, it grows direct sunlight outside on my patio set. Winter, it stays there, freezes solid. Yeah, just loves it. It's never struggled. Always flowers. I let it flower. I pretty much just leave it to its own devices. If it flowers, it flowers. It sets seed, it sets seed. It grows, it grows. It dies, it dies. I just leave it there, and it's always flourished. It's just in 100% sphagnum moss peat. Big deep pot, constant rainwater, with a bit of RO water topped up when it gets really warm, and that is it. And there's some sunflowers that I'm growing just for a bit of fun. But yeah, this is my little carnivorous garden. See the little pot in the corner over there, the jar, the mason jar of water that did have aldrovanda in it. Never worked. Maybe I might try again with this, grow some aldrovanda in it, the water wheel carnivorous plant. I love that plant, but I've always found it really hard to look after. Probably because you've got to have sort of a certain level of CO2 in the water. Yeah, I just, without having an actual pond, it's not an easy one to sort of grow, I've always found. Maybe you have different experiences yourself, but yeah, I've never been able to grow that one very well. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys.